Hey guys, King's Island Fanboy here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another coaster of the week. This coaster of the week is Backlot Stunt Coaster at King's Island. This is a Premier Rides launch coaster that opened in 2005. It has a height of 45 feet, a length of 1,960 feet, a top speed of 40 miles an hour, sorry, not 45, just 40, and it has a height limit of 48 inches. So this is a very family-oriented coaster. Before we get into the POV of this ride, I want to look at some of the details about it. This opened in 2005 at Kings Island. When Paramount owned the park, it opened as the Italian Job stunt track. So it was themed to the Italian Job movie, and then when Cedar Fair bought the park, they changed it to Backlot Stunt Coaster and removed all the Italian Job theming. So it is themed to a stunt car chase, pretty much, where you have all these theming elements around. You got police cars, you got this big explosion of flames that go off, and you dive into a dark tunnel and bust out of a billboard on the other end. So it's all this stunt movie car, like stunt car oriented movie set, which this ride is situated in Rivertown, which is the old western section of the park. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be themed to this. I think it could definitely use a retheme. I'm not quite sure what, but it's definitely a very odd spot for this coaster to be in the park. But overall, it is a very good family coaster. And now let's just jump right into that POV. So pulling out of the station here, you immediately launch, and you immediately start launching, going your 40 miles an hour in just 3 seconds into this giant triple helix that looks like a parking structure from the outside. Just a little bit of theming, and it is pretty forceful going into the first part of it. Then you dive down into some more theming and do this little S-bend here. That's for a little fun moment. Then you go into this overbank turn. It's nothing really provided there, but it's fun. Then you pop up, and in the front row you get a little bit of airtime and go through that very tight turn, which is a really fun moment. Then you dive down and pop right up into this awesome theming element right here. And then you sit there for a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds, while some theming elements play around you, some gunshots, there's a helicopter, and then eventually you have your giant flame, and then go into your second launch. This launch shoots you down into a dark tunnel. Not really sure what goes on down here. A lot of little bank turns. I heard there's actually might be a little third booster launch in there. And then you pop up into your billboard section where you dive under the queue line into this little bunny hop, and you bank into the final brake run. So kind of a short ride, but it provides a lot for what it does. So let's get more in depth into this ride. I think this ride is a great family coaster for the park, but overall the theming is really what puts this coaster off for me. I do not like the stunt coaster theming inside of Rivertown, because it really is technically in Rivertown. I think if they added another ride into the little plaza that Backlot's in, they could kind of count it that as its own area, but with the space they have, I don't really see that being plausible. So the theming for this ride is really what puts it off for me, about it like being in Rivertown, but not having the western theme and being themed to a modern time stunt coaster. So let's look at some of these elements. That launch at the beginning is really fun. It's a nice introduction, like for families, little kids getting into coasters. It's a nice introduction launch. It's not too fast. It doesn't accelerate super fast either. It's 0 to 40 in 3 seconds. So it doesn't accelerate incredibly fast, but it does go into that giant triple helix, and on a hot day when it's running fast, that helix can pull some cool forces. So it's really good. I will give it is a really good family coaster. It does a lot to let kids into roller coasters with some forces and some sideways elements and stuff like that, and launches. It is a good introduction coaster to kids that are like above Woodstock Express and have the high requirement to do like Racer and Bat and Mystic Timbers. That's a good stepping stone roller coaster. But other than that, it doesn't really provide much to the park. It's not a really great supporting coaster. The capacity is really bad and it always has a really long line. So overall, the ride isn't that great. There's not a lot of elements that really stand out to this ride. The theming doesn't make any sense to me. So overall, for the final score of this ride, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Even though I said I don't like the theming, it does have it, which is better than no theming at all. So the theming is boosting it over a little bit, even though I don't like it. It's still better than no theming. It's boosting it over a little bit than just a 5 out of 10. So the final score is still a 6 out of 10, just for that tiny bit of theming it has, even though I don't like it. Well, that's all for this video. I want to hear what you guys think of Backlot Stunt Coaster down in the comments below. Again, that's all for this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.